Good morning, everybody. My name is Trevor Tayse. This is my first YouTube video, and I already feel awkward because I'm being serious. So you know what? Screw that. I'm being myself, and I'm being a weirdo. So cheers to being healthy, heart healthy. You know, cardiac failure is like the #1 killer in America. So gotta make sure it's beating hard and fast with this to keep it alive. So today, this is my first YouTube, like I just said. I'm just gonna be doing a Q&A. For those who don't follow me on Instagram, I kind of wanted to just keep this simple. I did a little questionnaire, see what people want to know about me, right? So here we go. I'm gonna answer some questions, right? Turn this down a little bit. All right. And forgive my setup. You better forgive my setup. All right, we're gonna start with this one. First question. You look like C-Bum, Chris Bumstead. Dude, you think so? I appreciate it though. He's a cool fella. Your thoughts on the young aesthetics movement? Jeff said, John Skywalker, Ziz. I remember seeing Ziz when I was like really little. I thought he looked good because he was really like lean aesthetic, you know, girls probably like that. But I'm not really into it, to be honest. I'm trying to get swole, you know, trying to get big. They look good though. My thought on SARMs, selective androgen receptor modulators. I've never really used them, to be honest. Scientifically, they work. I don't have much to say on that because I don't have experience with it or background studies on it. Your thoughts on old school tight waist physique versus today in the bubble gut physique? You know, people compare old school versus new school way too much, in my opinion. And I think the reason why people like old school so much is because it was the beginning. It was the start of something. Just like, you know, the whole Michael Jordan and LeBron debate. Now, I played sports my entire life, but I'm not up to date, so I don't have my opinion on that matter. But the reason why people like these old guys is because they were the first to ever do it, and they were doing it in an era where, you know, the competition, I'm not saying the competition was the same, but you're the first to ever do it. It's kind of like the first car that ever came out. That was the best car, you know, or Babe Ruth, the best baseball player. No, they were back then, but people advance and get better over time. Now the tight waist, well, it depends what you mean by tight. Bone structure is genetic. I have a wide waist. I have big hips, right? But I can get it tight. I mean, I can vacuum. But I think today's with the whole bubble gut thing. First of all, I don't see bubble guts anymore because people addressed it and people fixed it. And I think that has to do with overconsumption of food, because when I would consume a lot of food, I would get bloated all day. It can be the drugs as well. They're pushing the limits maybe a little bit too hard. But I like new day bodybuilding, you know? But I respect old school as well. How did you get started into lifting and bodybuilding? Well, I started lifting when I was about 14 years old, going into high school. I played sports my entire life, so entering high school, I got into the freshman football team, and you gotta get bigger, you gotta get stronger. So you start working out, you know, doing your basic lifts, your squats, bench press, power cleans, more of your strength movements, explosive power, not necessarily isolation to look good, but to perform well. Now, once I got out of high school, I didn't want to fall off tracks like everyone else did and become fat or lazy or skinny and, you know, start drinking beer. So I continued working out. Although I did party and drink and act stupid, I've wasted many years not giving my full potential to this. I'm getting off track already. That's what got me started. When I got out of high school, I saw a video of Ronnie Coleman. I'm gonna find the video. It's a black and white video, and it had this slow song in it. I said, I want to look like him. He is superhuman. I don't want to look normal. I want to push myself, and that's what I want to be. Now, my thoughts have changed. I don't want to be that big anymore. push myself that hard because of consequences later on in life, like he has experienced. My gosh, look at I look freaking tiny. I look tiny at this angle. Any tips and techniques for breaking out of a plateau? I think you need to track yourself, weightlifting wise and food wise. You can't just throw chicken and rice in a bowl randomly every single day and expect to meet your goals if you have no idea how much protein, carbs, or fats you're getting. Now, if you don't want to track your macros per se, you don't have to do that. But if you have a scale, start off with 5 ounces of protein, 100 grams of rice, not 100 grams of carbs, but of rice, right? So let's say you go through that week with that and you say, okay, I think I'm looking better, I'm feeling better, I can definitely eat more. Then move that up a little bit, move it to 125 grams of rice, then 150, 250, 300, 400. You slowly move it up, adjust your fats with your carbs. Get yourself to a moderate level of protein. I don't think you need to be shoving down 12 ounces. Personally, I'm at 9 per meal, but that can stay the same for the most part. What can adjust is your carbs, your fats, and the amount of meals, and the timing, and when you eat your carbs as well. So you need to have a schedule to do that. I promise. You gotta do that. Trevor, I would like to ask you one thing. When are you going to compete in Mr. Olympia? Why your abs look flat? Okay. Well, listen, I'm a pretty humble guy. A lot of things I'm not good at in life, plenty. But something that I know that I can be good at is bodybuilding. I have the structure and the physique for it. I have all the tools to be the best, in my opinion. And I will if I continue on this journey. And I've just started this journey, and there's a big old dog right there. I'm scared right now. Oh, my abs looking flat. Well, in that picture, I wasn't flexing my abs. You don't know when the photographer is going to capture the picture or not, right? Obviously, you need to keep yourself tight the whole entire way, but just like you see in bodybuilding, like professional IFBB leagues, when these people were hanging their guts out, it might not always be hanging out. They just caught them at the wrong time. But my abs are small anyway. Some people can be fatter than me and you can see their abs just popping. Mine, not so much. Flat. This is gonna be a very long video, damn. How do you like to train shoulders and calves? Also, fantastic job with your comp, and you looked awesome. Thank you, Sean. I would read all y'all's names, but it's kind of small on my screen. Calves, I don't really train, to be 100% honest. I think calves are genetic. If you have calves, you can get them bigger or smaller. If you don't have calves, it's very hard. But I've also heard contrary and seen contrary pictures where people don't have calves and they grow them. Just, you gotta try different movements, man. Heavy weight, low reps, freaking hundreds of reps, squeezing. You have to try different things. How do you get started? Oh, I just read that. Let me get to the next picture, guys. How long have you been training, and what strategies do you use to stay injury-free? Well, I've been training, lifting weights in the gym since I was 14. I'm 27, so that's what, 13 years? But I won't count those years as lifting, right? Because, yeah, although I was in there strength training in high school, I didn't have money. I lived at home. My parents, they weren't feeding me all this crazy food. We'd go eat McDonald's after football practice. We'd be drinking beer on the weekend. We didn't take it serious. And people who are in the know and have the knowledge and the wisdom and the experience with bodybuilding know that it's not just the weights and it's not drugs. It really is the food. It's like putting barely any gas in your car and expecting it to run good. No, you got to put the right quality fuel in there for it to run optimally and the best that it can. Injury free, don't ego lift. I used to try and lift crazy weights back when I thought it was crazy weights, but now there's guys nowadays who weigh 150 pounds pushing crazy weight. But don't push it too hard. What is the drive behind your passion? It's my drug. It's my escape, my happiness. It's where I go if I'm depressed, sad, any emotion that I could possibly feel. That's why I go to the gym. The pump is the cure. Antoine Vaillant, that's your little saying. I'm gonna shout you out right there. But the pump, it's the best feeling ever. It's the best feeling. I love how I feel when I come out of there. And for those who don't lift, you gotta force yourself back in there, or force yourself to do it to get into that routine. Even myself, I fell off track last year, went to the gym maybe once for 2 months. I didn't want to be there. I hated it. For someone who's lifted for over a decade, people still feel that way, even after lifting for such a long time. But you have to force yourself, and once you get into that rhythm of things, things start flowing, things start moving around. But you got to get into the habit of it, okay? So my passion behind it, though, right now in competing, I've always been competitive, and I love competing. But this stuff is really hard. I've wrestled, I've done weightlifting, I've done football, I've done baseball. I'm my dad's son. Dad, if you see this, that's kind of funny. But, so, I'm not saying I've had the hardest life or the easiest life, but I know what trials are and tribulations, and I know what tough times are, mentally and physically. So, but this is really hard. This is like another whole other animal. But I see where I can be. I've heard it from too many people, so I'm giving it my all because I see where I'm going to be, and I know where I'm going to be, and I'm hoping where I want to be. It's not working construction for the rest of my life. It's making a career out of fitness, whether it's having sponsors that are paying me a whole bunch of money, or doing photo shoots, good sponsorships besides Golden Aesthetics that I'm rocking right now. Honestly, the best in the game, and I'm not even just saying that because I'm sponsored by them. That's the truth, and that's my opinion. But I want to make money like that. I want to be able to take my son to school and spend more time with him from home on my own time. Coaching people, helping people online get their bodies right and stay healthy. I want to have a family. I want to make good money from this, and I want to be able to travel. So winning these competitions is not going to get me the money. But being on stage, I will use that platform to present what I have, whether physically in my body, my face, using this to show you guys my personality, how I can speak with my words, things like that. Sharing my voice, maybe helping other people. You don't know what you can do until you put yourself out there, and that's what I'm doing, and I will continue to do that until I make it to where I want to be. Why are you so awesome? I appreciate it, brother. What do you think about Christian metal? Is it too aggressive to be considered worship? I love to be honest. No, man. God hears what's right here. We're the ones who put these labels on certain things, man. I can tell you in a sweet voice, I hate you and I want you to die. I'm going to cut your head off. That sounds sweet. So for someone who doesn't know English, that sounds really sweet. Or I could scream at the top of my lungs, I love you so much and I will do anything for you. That sounds scary. It's not about how you say it. God hears what's in the heart. He sees you. There's a Bible verse in the Bible, I don't know it, but it talks about using cymbals and the harp and the drums to worship God. I forgot who it was who was dancing in the street naked, and people were judging him because he wasn't worshiping the way they were supposed to worship. People put God in this box like, this is how you have to do things, and that's called religion, and I don't agree with religion or organized religion. I believe in a relationship with Jesus Christ, the Father, being active with him, speaking with him daily, trying to avoid sin as much as you can, admitting that you are sinful and that you are wrong every single day, but knowing that his grace is enough. Okay, how do you find, so no, I love Christian metal, and I love non-Christian metal as well. How do you find, asking how do you find me on YouTube? I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna figure that one out. Foods you eat for the building season. Same exact thing as you eat in prep. Now people say, well, how do you do that all the time? You get used to it and you do what you love. You love this and you actually start to really enjoy the foods that you eat, right? The healthy foods. Now obviously you can enjoy yourself a little bit more. You can have your McDonald's, your cupcakes, whatever you want. You can maybe even have it once a day. But really look at yourself in the mirror, judge your body, see where you're going. Okay, I'm gaining a little bit more fat this week than last week because I had a little bit more donuts. Some people are a little more susceptible to gaining fat than others. So you gotta monitor your body, enjoy your life, love it. Don't have a relationship with food. Don't overthink. Sometimes you just have to enjoy it. But have your meals, eat healthy, and eat your bigger portioned meals to gain that size. That stash bra. I can't even see it. I'm about to. Also, I got some tanner left still from the show. Obviously, I don't shower. Man, it's a 15-minute video already. And I have 3 more little pages. Damn, do I stop this and maybe I can break it up? I'm gonna do part 2. So here we go.